From Texas, Mr. Hensarling is recognized for 3 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. Madam Speaker, the American people understand that this nation is facing a debt crisis. Congress, under control of our friends on the other side of the aisle, the Democrats, have seen the deficit increase almost tenfold since they took control of Congress. We know that President Obama has now submitted a budget which will double the national debt in 5 years and triple it in 10 from 2008. Madam Speaker, I serve on the President's Fiscal Responsibility Commission, and we have recently heard testimony that when a nation's gross debt equals 90% of its economy, in this case GDP, that the needle has hit the red zone, that you can lose economic growth, and on average, history tells us you can lose 1 percentage point, a full third. Congressional Budget Office is predicting 3% economic growth. It could be 2%. Madam Speaker, the United States gross debt is now at 89% of GDP, and the American people now know it's either YouCut or your children may one day face bankruptcy. Spending is out of control. Our children are facing a future with fewer jobs, shrinking paychecks, smaller homes, an American dream that is constricted and diminished. We are on the verge of being the first generation in America's history to leave the next generation with a lower standard of living. And just this morning on the Budget Committee, Chairman Bernanke said that it is important that the Congress act today on the government-sponsored enterprises. It is important that the government act today on enacting a budget. It's important that the government act today to reduce the national debt. That has an impact on economic growth and jobs today. But we have no plan, at least listening to the gentleman from Colorado. If we had a plan to deal with the GSEs, it has not ended in a success that the American people recognize. We're now looking at $147 billion of taxpayer bailout. Between the government-sponsored enterprises and the FHA, they now control approximately 95% of the market, more government control. And that's why the gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Garrett, and I have introduced H.R. 4889, the GSE Bailout Elimination and Taxpayer Protection Act, to end this. And instead, what we have from our other friends on the other side of the aisle is they actually exempt the government-sponsored enterprises who are at the epicenter of the financial crisis from the new legislation. Again, it is time that we put Fannie and Freddie on a road to market competition to end the perpetual bailouts to save taxpayers money, because it's either you cut or your children go bankrupt.
Expired.